Hi my friend, I am very grateful that you are watching our video today. My name is Erkan Sütçüver, CEO and founder of International DevOps Academy, where it's our goal and duty to make sure that we teach you DevOps as best as we can. As you know, we published our first video last week with the subject, What is DevOps? And this video has been a huge hit. I received hundreds of thank you messages from you, ladies and gentlemen, and even a few handwritten thank you messages to show your gratitude to our programs. And I am really happy that our video training material reflected very well with you, and we will keep on doing this. And thank you very much for your attention once again. So today's subject is our problems in our IT ecosystems without DevOps. But before we deep dive today's subject, I want to give a brief overview of what we have covered last week. So as I said, last week's subject was what DevOps is, and we have also mentioned what DevOps isn't. So in a summary, DevOps is the process to develop and deliver great software. And it's basically the harmonization of very well known and approved and proven, IT, manufacturing and industry best practices such as Agile Manifesto, Agile Infrastructure, Toyota Improvement Kata, Lean Movement, Continuous Integration Movement, Theory of Constraints, and when all these proven techniques brought together in combination with recently developed agile movement, all these new concepts such as product ownership or product backlog, sprint backlog, and all this iterative software engineering life cycles and extreme programming, when all this brought together, DevOps emerged, and DevOps basically helped champion organizations such as Google, Amazon, Netflix, Spotify, Facebook to build one-click deployment infrastructures where these companies can do micro production deployment hundreds of times every day. And we also want to teach all this tips, tricks and methodologies to the organization, so you will make more fun with your work, and you also help your customers as best as we can. Last week we also mentioned what DevOps isn't, because there is a big confusion going on in the IT market. Most of the software vendors, including some operating system and cloud computing vendors, started adding the DevOps keywords in the end of their products and launched products such as cloud DevOps, operating system DevOps, or continuous software integration platform DevOps, just to profit from this trendy DevOps keyword. But in the end, all the software vendors are not going to teach you what DevOps is, how you can implement your DevOps transformation, what kind of software architecture or what kind of new organization you need, and how you can continuously improve your processes. You are not going to get any of this information from the software vendors, because their goal is not to teach you DevOps, but their goal is to teach them their own software as well as selling their own software licenses. But before you understand what really DevOps is, you can't really choose a software, because you can't really know if you have given the correct decision in terms of what kind of software you should use in your DevOps initiative. And I also don't think you want to end up with another software platform or another piece or another component in most probably already complex IT infrastructure, and then this product end up another component that you need to maintain instead of helping you in your DevOps initiative. Therefore, first things first, we first have to understand what DevOps is, where it is coming from, and then step by step we will teach you the way you can transform in your organization, and you can basically adopt best practices in terms of what kind of deployment pipeline you should use, what kind of architecture you should use, what kind of team structure you will need, what kind of continuous integration, continuous improvement processes you will need in place, what kind of post-mortems you need to done after your critical incidents or issues, to make sure that you keep a open-minded and continuously learning organization. And International DevOps Academy is your only and one single partner which will help you to do this. And we have done this with major IT and industrial organizations worldwide so far, with our free of charge, video content, with our, training portal, with our free of charge book. We invest our own money. We taught hundreds of thousands of people worldwide, and also we certified them. And this men and women implemented great DevOps transformation in their companies. They got promotions, pay raises, or become accountable to implement DevOps transformations in their organizations. And we hope that you will be one of them, or at least you will be a great team member in your DevOps team with your understanding of DevOps, and then you will be helping the bottom line of your company with your great services and products. After having said that, today's lesson is the problems in your IT without DevOps. Why we have chosen this subject as our second subject is, before you understand the problems in your IT, before you'll be able to talk about them clearly with your managers and leaders, you can't really convince anyone to undertake any transformation effort. Because the transformation will not only impact your IT, the way you work in IT, it will also impact, your whole organization, your software setup, your basic interaction with your IT and business stakeholders, how you build your deployment pipeline, how your security processes, audit processes, how your control processes work and everything, all this is a such improvement. And before you can convince any manager, director or VP or a C-level executive, you and your team will be quite equipped and knowledgeable. You should have enough ammunition in your hand to clearly, articulate your problems in your IT ecosystems without DevOps. And today's lesson will aim to, give you enough ammunition, enough, highlights to make sure that you well enough understand why you need DevOps and how you can convince your management team in terms of what your team currently encounters. So let's get started. So in the first lesson, I said that I am not going to do, fancy videos, animations and nothing. This is still valid, but today I am going to try a different angle with my video, and I hope you will like it too. Okay, let's do it now. I am now changing the angle from the side to front. Let's do it. Hey, we have done it. Great. I'm making myself smaller to make sure that I'm not occupying the screen. So for today's lesson, there are two helpful material. Either you can use our free of charge DevOps books, or you can use our training portal. I'm going to show, both of them one by one, in case you also want to read today's training material, maybe later after we finish this video. So the first one is here. You can come to the Academy from the top of our menu, and then you click the free DevOps book, and from here you scroll down, you find the book cover, and when you click on this, the book loads in a second. And when you scroll down a bit, there is a clickable, very neat menu, and when you click over here, what are your problems in IT without DevOps, then you can access the content for today's video. You can also read this afterwards if you want to also read. Today I will anyway, explain you in all detail. And another way to access this content is you can go to your, again, from the Academy tab, from the top menu, you can click your free premium DevOps training. And when you do this, there is again a navigation on the bottom of this page, and you find here on this menu your DevOps training table of contents. You find what are your problems in IT without DevOps, and then today's lesson again opens. Okay, let's get started. As a brief summary again, today's lesson aims that you will have enough ammunition to basically convince your managers and leaders about your problems without DevOps. So I assume in many companies in the world, most of these problems are valid. Maybe some of them are not valid for you, although I will surprise if you won't encounter any of these problems that I mentioned here. But still, don't restrict yourself. Keep your open-minded, that I also mentioned in our first lesson. In case you encounter some other problems beside the ones that I'm going to specify here today, also make sure you highlight and you articulate all this problem very clearly with your management team as well. Okay, I'm getting started. So in your world of IT without DevOps, development and operation teams do usually conflict. End-to-end quality assurance of required client features and benefits first start after the development team begins to work on a completely different project. I think this is a very familiar situation for you. Development team finishes a project, you need their attention, in the deployment phase, etc. But they are unfortunately busy with something else and they don't, pay much attention, on the deployment, tasks and duties because they are not responsible for operations. They are, as the position name states, they are developers. Information security and production readiness audits are conducted the day before the planned production rollout. Solving software problems at this critical project stage, especially design and security flaws that must have been already identified and rectified months ago, do not only yield challenges for the successful continuity of your IT, but also for the continuity of your business. I am sure you are familiar with this. Tired developers, testing information security silos, demanding but desperate project and product managers, angry executives and frustrated clients and IT stakeholders do not really add much value to this chaotic stage of the project. Too many handoffs of activities from one team to another, dependencies in every possible imaginable direction, countless uncoordinated manual non-transparent work in your IT department, just another day. Despite of long lead times to get any work done, there is no better option available, at least not for now, and you know that you still need this job to earn money and to pay your bills. And this is why we basically suffer in organizations where we don't have much fun, but hopefully DevOps will bring a new fresh breath in your organization, and you will again have a lot of fun working in your IT job. Despite of long lead times to get any work done, there is no better option available, at least not for now. And finally, the big day comes. After a big, problematic and chaotic production deployment night, which caused significant downtime at your business, you wonder if your deployment broke anything in the existing production functionality. Then you start thinking the lack of clarity and tangible evidence about what just happened in your production, and you are nearly, you can't really know that what has been really impacted in your production systems. You made a deployment fine, but is everything is really still alive? You usually don't answer this question with confidence because you really don't have any evidence to provide to anyone. And yet go live production already starts in the corridors of your IT room. It's also time for you to drink and mentally recover from the tiring, tough and sleepless night you just left behind you. And what you broke last night in your production will hopefully be the problem of somebody else. This is, the typical mindset in non-DevOps organizations. The problem is there, and then a silo is responsible from it, and you just get away with it. DevOps understanding is not that. DevOps understanding is, we work hands in hand to solve problems, to work issues, to make sure that we create value for our organization, for our clients, for our products. In the end, our company earns more money, which will impact the bottom line of our organization, which will impact our economy as well. This is the idea behind DevOps. Having said that, you must be now wondering how it is possible at all that these tough projects can finish in one or another way, although they once have been really in an ugly and desperate shape. The answer lies in the infinite monkey theorem. This is a very funny one that you should pay attention. In a nutshell, the infinite monkey theorem states that a monkey hitting keys at random on a typewriter keyboard for an infinite amount of time will surely type a given text such as the complete works of William Shakespeare. This is not a joke. So here the idea is, if you think statistically, and if you, randomly type until the end of time, obviously some, meaningful words, sentences, and even maybe the books can emerge. This is literally what's happening in our IT systems. Beyond any predictability about when the work can finish, provided that our IT team sufficiently delays and gains time for a given project, it will surely deliver the project. This is precisely what's happening. After this, funny storyline. This is a real storyline, by the way, especially if you're a seasoned professional, even when you're a beginner in IT, even with some, years of experience. I'm sure that, you witness, similar storylines 10 to 100 times in your, IT ecosystem. But still, we want to also give you, some tangible items that you can use in your discussions with your managers to explain your problem sets in your ecosystem without DevOps. And these bullet points are, in summary. I will go in a minute all the details, but in bullet points, the high-level summary is, the chronic conflict you encounter between development and operation teams, the technical debt we keep on accumulating. Our business mostly earns from the fragile systems, and we start, promising bigger after we break one, and we have no more fun at work. The team morale and motivation must be an important component for your management team, and if you highlight that your team does not enjoy the work because of the way of the company is operating, then of course this creates some more, initiative for your IT leadership team to basically understand that something has to be done to improve the status quo. Let's get started with chronic conflict between development and operations. So among many key responsibilities, there are two major missions in your IT organization. Your development team has to quickly deliver to respond changing demands from your clients and from the market your business serves for. Your business operations and your IT operations team has to guarantee stable, predictable, secure and continuous service to serve your clients and markets. Given that your IT organization is structured in this typical and traditional way, your development and operation teams have conflicting missions and motivations. This conflict reduces productivity, quality of service, client satisfaction, and outcomes of your IT department, and finally the overall business performance. You see here, the business team, the operation teams make sure that there is a, stable and strong platform to serve the business. But on the other hand, developments are under constant pressure from, IT stakeholders to develop as quick as they can. And the only way, to preserve the stability of the IT system, whereas delivering still quickly, is to build teams which constitute both development and operations people, and this is where the name of DevOps is coming from. This Dev means development and Ops means operations, and DevOps is basically the combination of both of these people to basically develop and deliver great software. But still, DevOps is far more than the concatenation of development and operation teams, but still this basic understanding is also the important concept, one of the problems that DevOps is solving. Instead of you have different silos, development and operations, they are either same team or there is strict rules of definitions how they are going to work together to make sure fast and secure deliveries. This is the part of your DevOps journey, one of the problems we are going to solve also in the next lessons. And another challenge in a world without DevOps is the continuous technical debt we keep on accumulating. Continuous firefighting, workarounds, unplanned activities to save your day will only result in accumulation of more technical debt. This not only impacts the performance of your development and operations, but it also negatively impacts all other units, including architecture, information security, testing, product management, release management, and our business stakeholders. One way to better also, explain the problem with, technical debt is, resembling this to, financial debt. And the more financial debt we have, the less options we have got to reach our desired goals, and ultimately it becomes almost impossible to give correct decisions to reach the desired, outcomes, and we would be more likely to make additional, financial debt. And technical debt is no difference. The more technical debt we have, the less options we have got to build and deliver correct solutions, and finally we end up building workarounds on top of workarounds, or house of cards on top of house of cards, and it's just a matter of time until everything collapses, and you already know this, you have already experienced this, and technical debt is also yet another large problem in the IT without DevOps. And The third component is our businesses mostly earn from our most fragile IT components, most fragile IT systems. An unsurprising but concerning fact about your business is that your most critical and revenue generating systems are most prone to errors, crashes, and downtimes. These systems are usually in the center or in the kernel of your business, and you have to yet participate in a meeting that they are not somehow part of discussions. They are the most critical systems impacted by almost all projects. Due to their severity in your business, they deserve continuous work or rework, urgent changes, unplanned fixes, and yet these systems are never tired of producing priority one critical incidents. Such systems are mostly, the CRM, customer relationship management systems, or the billing system, or sales flows, marketing flows, or self-care portals, or if you are, part of a software as service organization, your all, service is a critical platform, or if you're a manufacturing or production company, the systems that controls, maintains, monitors, and manages your business, your IT, your manufacturing, your production is the key and critical components on the top of everything else, and they are mainly most prone to errors. And then what happens is we started promising bigger if we break an already existing promise. As our IT organization constantly breaks promises, we frustrate our business stakeholders, and our business stakeholders become more demanding to compensate the past issues. You and your leaders have often say nothing but why not, unless there is a better job offer lined up. And then our responsibilities and the pressure on our IT keeps on increasing. And your software development and delivery organizations are assigned to larger challenges than even usual. And as your critical systems, which are in the kernel of your IT infrastructure and your IT architecture, are even not in close proximity to deliver these even more demanding requirements in given urgent timelines, you set out designing new workarounds on the top of existing workarounds, and everything gets more difficult to manage and live with. And in the end, as people, as employees, even you may be a manager or director, but you are again in the end an employee, and in the end, you lose your, job satisfaction. You have difficulties to wake up, from bed, to leave your bed and then to come to work, because in the end, what you do is, firefighting, and there is no creativity at work. It's just, save the day, and this is, not the type of businesses we want to operate, not the type of IT organizations we want to operate, and we have no more fun at work. This is again one of the, side effects, one of the outcomes of organization of an IT ecosystem without DevOps. And what happens is finally we get busier and busier, and your calendar have no more free space to perform an hour of uninterrupted work for the original position you are hired and paid for. Emails are raining to your inbox, they are accumulating, and you are just using your time in the meetings to process your emails, and mostly all these emails are unclear, and you have difficulties to understand the point of these emails because of unclarity in these emails, and you're always curious why there is no monetary training in your organization to teach how to use and write emails, and you are usually dependent on other teams to be able to continue your work. And yet expectations you communicate a couple of weeks ago are not even in the radar of other team, because they just started their new project, and while they had to solve a lot of priority one incidents caused by their fragile IT systems. You are getting slowly a little bit impatient because you need some answers from your designated single point of contact from other team that needs to support your ongoing project. You couldn't stop, and you just send another email to remind your request. This time you put our boss in CC, to make sure that you get some attention, and you think you should have done this when you sent your original request a few weeks ago. A couple of seconds have passes, and 2 out of office notification pops up in your screen. Your single point of contact at the other team will be in the workshops until the end of the week, and the boss of the single point of contact is on sick leave today. This is a typical situation. We need help from another team, but we even can't access anyone. Either they are busy meetings, or they are sick, or on vacation. This is the cost of organization. without DevOps. In conclusion, in this video I explained you the challenges most of business and IT professionals face, the downward spirals and the vicious cycles every business and every IT professional live with. And Gartner estimates that worldwide we invest yearly $600 billion for non-budgeted and non-scheduled IT maintenance work to keep our most critical revenue generating IT systems up and running. So here too, I want to underline 2 points. It's 600 billion, ladies and gentlemen. It's not 600 million. It's 600 billion. And the 600 billion is not even the cost we are spending for our IT systems. It's only the money we spent for unplanned, non-budgeted, non-planned work. It's the money we are investing, and imagine this money, this 600 billion. So to emphasize the magnitude of this number, it's 609 times 0. Imagine this $600 billion comes back to the industry. Imagine, our companies provide this back as a shareholder value or a value to the employees, to the communities they are working for. Imagine, the productivity, the goodness they could provide with the $600 billion. But now today in our organizations without DevOps, we are simply investing this amount of money. It's really a big pity. But hopefully DevOps will help our organizations. And International DevOps Academy aims to be a big player to teach you and your team and your organization to be able to use DevOps, so you will basically doing your share to reduce this, to diminish this waste that we are causing in the world's economy. And as it might have been really clear for you until this point that this level of waste in a highly cognitive profession like ours, in information technology industry, it's really not trivial to understand. If you can understand this, if we are mostly educated people in IT industry, we spend 20 or even more years to come to the point in terms of education and self-improvement, the schools we finish, but in the end we are just in the epicenter of causing $600 billion best dollars in the world's economy. This is for me not a trivial thing to understand. If you understand it better than I can, I really want to hear your feedback how this is really possible. And DevOps believe that, as International DevOps Academy, we also believe that this is a very nice challenge to tackle with. And DevOps and International DevOps Academy have some answers for some companies, and we believe that we also have some answers for your company too. Of course, if your company is ready to learn, adapt, experiment, and to reap the benefits of DevOps, International DevOps Academy will be, happily your partner in your DevOps journey. And we are coming slowly to the end of today's lesson. I really hope that you enjoyed what you heard today. I tried to cover the problems in our IT ecosystems without DevOps. And again, why we have chosen this lesson as our second subject is to be able to make you clear that what kind of challenges and difficulties we have to deal every day in our IT ecosystem without DevOps. And we believe that these arguments will help you to articulate your difficult situation to your managers, leaders, and senior executives to basically convince them something has to be done to basically improve the morale, the quality of software, the quality of service that your organization offers. And we really hope to partner you and your team in your DevOps initiative. As you already know, we provide free of charge training material, these training videos, and our free of charge DevOps training video that we have spent our own money to make it as good as it is possible. All this material is free of charge, and in case you want to also certify you in DevOps, we also offer 12 different certification programs. You can check them from the certification tab from our homepage. Just small items, how our certifications differentiate from the other vendors. First of all, our certification programs are official, industry recognized and worldwide valid. We have been working with very large vendors and software providers and industry and manufacturing companies, and these companies are very grateful to training content and certification programs we provided them. Second, our certification programs are lifetime valid. So you don't need to pay a redundant, resubscription or recertification fee few years later, because once you make your certification, it will become lifetime valid. Third, we don't ask you to do a mandatory classroom training. We don't believe that it's the best medium to teach you in a random way, in a random trainer. We want you to basically to consume all of our free of charge training material. Then you will be ready to make your certification exam as quick as you can. And our process is quite straightforward. You register and get your exam access code. You enter your exam at your time, anytime you want to, and then you get your certification as quick as you can. And also we provide money back guarantee in case you are not happy with your certification program, and we also provide exam pass guarantee in case you may fail your exam for any reason, your network crash, your computer crash, or you may be sick at that day and you want to leave the exam before you submit your exams. Whatever the reason is, you can simply reaccess your exam once again after you fail. We will free of charge, and automatically you can access your exam once again, and you can do your exam once again whenever you would like to. And besides, we provide world-class student support that receive hundreds of appreciations every day from social media, from the emails. We have a great team that provide around-the-clock customer service. Our internal KPI is 24-hour that we officially announce, but in reality, when I check the reports, we basically cover all requests and questions and support requests in at most 12 hours, if not quicker. Therefore, with International DevOps Academy, you are in a very good company. And I hope you will enjoy our services, and I hope you liked the video that you watched today. And for now, I wish you a great day and take care. Bye-bye.